The following is a presentation of the Rowan Television Network.
Lovely host of the evening. He's a current Rowan student and a really great guy. So without further ado, Wayne Sellers.
Good evening, good evening. Thank you all for coming to the annual Laugh Off competition. So before I bring my judges in, I'm gonna tell you a little story about my love life. Wait, that was the first joke of the night. I don't have a love life. But back in the day where I was in my better luck, I had this girlfriend. Her name was Sarah. Not too tall, not too short. We went out together. We cooked together, ice skating, all that good stuff. But she did this really cute thing where she didn't exist. So you can take away all that kind of stuff because that didn't happen. But no girlfriend, I'm okay. I still try the bars, school, dances, whatever. So I go up to girls and they usually think I'm ugly. But then when I tell them how much money I make, they see the checks I'm pulling, the clothes I wear, then they just call me ugly and poor. So that's that. And then, but you can worry about that stuff right now, especially for my ladies. You're gonna have to make a choice. You can settle down, get married, have a nice husband, or you can get a dog. The difference is, after a year, the dog is gonna be the only one that's still happy to see you every day. So, that's my storied love life. But now, it's time to introduce the judges, and they're all Rowan alumni, so let's make some good noise for when I call their names out. So first, the man Cody, who has a horse named Cody Molowski. And he's also the former director of live events. Next, we have Jay-Z's #1 fan, Sarah Olsen. Third up, we have Courtney Van Leuvan, who will laugh at your joke even if it's not funny, like my jokes. Let's get a round of applause for her. Last, but certainly not least, a Rowan After Hours alumni, we have Mike Morris, and he has an equally bearded dragon. Let's hear it for him. One more time for your judges real quick. All right. So, I think it is about that time to hear some actual jokes from some actual people who are funny. So this is how it's gonna go. They're gonna have about 5 minutes to tell their jokes, to make you laugh, all that fun stuff. And then, we have our judges here judging them. But if you hear a funny joke, laugh. If you don't hear a funny joke, still laugh and don't kill their self-esteem. So, first up, Isaiah, are you ready? Let's make some noise for Isaiah, everybody.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, bro. Is this? Hello, can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Clap if you can hear me. All right. Oh, there we go. Y'all can hear me now, right? Yeah, cool. So how y'all doing? I'm Isaiah, if you haven't heard. And my mic stand doesn't seem to be working, so I'm going to just go ahead and do the Richard Pryor thing and just do the stand-up thing. First of all, let me start off by saying I am a Christian. I love my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ to the fullest, 100%. Now that I got that out the way, I have to say, my life has changed somewhat, and I have to explain. First of all, when I tell my friends that, knew me before I have my faith and knew me before, I knew this man named Jesus, when I tell my friends that I'm a Christian now, they tell me, why, number one. And two, they treat me as if I got a venereal disease or something. Like, oh my God, how do you get that? Really? Can't you die from that? Oh my gosh. And I'm just like, well, it's not really that deep. Well, it's kind of better for me because, now I feel like I have a better roadmap on how to live my life, right? It's not like once I became a Christian, I started levitating or something like that. It's not something that happens overnight. It's more of a process, right? So now that I said that I'm a Christian and now that you guys know about me somewhat, you can assume that I pray a bit, right? I pray quite often. At least I try. I try my best. I try my best to pray and make sure I spend my time with God. Being on this campus, it's not the easiest thing being a Christian, just because there's a thing called leggings. The devil, those are the devil. I wish I could find the person that made leggings and ask them why. Why did you do that? I mean, imagine you spend about maybe 20 minutes, right, on your knees praying to God. God, just let me have a good day. I pray that I'm used. I pray that, you help me to share this faith and, we can transform some people's lives. All right, thank you, Lord. Amen. You get up off your knees and, you start walking down that Rowan Boulevard and big booty to the left, big booty to the right, big booty all around. And I'm just like, oh, shucks. It's a little bit too much for me sometimes. I really can't handle it. If I could make an argument, leggings are not pants. Am I right? Am I right? They're not. I mean, I have a sister. I've never seen my father or my mother buy her leggings, not once. When it was time to go school shopping, we get jeans for her. We get sweatpants. Leggings is not a part of the deal. Like, not even one time I seen her leave a pair with a pair of leggings. Not once. I have to mention dating. Dating's a bit different. Courting's a bit different. Okay, I'll put it to you this way. Before I was a Christian, right, I think I would 99.9% definitely, well, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to get too transparent. Can I just talk to y'all for a minute? Can I just talk to y'all honestly? Would you mind if I go there for a second? Do you mind? Can I do that? Okay, before I was a Christian, right, 99.9% of the time, if I was talking to a woman, I'd probably leave with some type of intercourse. But I'm not doing that these days. We're talking about things, and for example, I'm dating someone for a year now. Her name is Marjorie. Shout out to Marjorie for people that know her. Hey, love you, boo. It's my baby. But when I met her, I wasn't trying to wine her and dine her. She just happened to be getting off her shift at Mickey D's, and I happened to be sitting next to an outlet so she could charge her phone, and the first thing that came out of our mouths was, "Hey, do you sing?" That's not the smoothest line in the world, but we happened to both sing, and we hit it off pretty well. And a year later and some change, man, we here, and we talking about marriage. I would have never talked about that before. By the way, I'm Isaiah, and y'all have a good night.
One more time for Isaiah, folks. And thank you for saying what every man thinks on his mind every day about leggings, because I have those same thoughts too. So if you don't think that, fellas, you're lying. All right, so act one out of the way. Next up, we have the one, the only, Ellen Wesley. Would you please come to the stage?
Hey everyone. Well, as the announcer has just, announced, I'm Ellen Wesley. And like any normal, sane person, I talk to myself sometimes. One time, my dad came into the room as I was doing so, and he got suspicious, so I told him what I was doing. "What were you saying?" he asked. I paused and decided to be honest. "That's none of your business." "Well, be kind," he replied. "That's my daughter you're talking to." You all know that song, Shut Up and Dance. Well, whenever I hear it, I always think to myself, is that all this woman can say? Like, you'd think if she's your destiny, you'd be able to have a normal conversation with her. Want to go to the movies? Shut up and dance with me. Will you marry me? Shut up and dance with me. Do you take Nicholas Petriga to be your lawfully wedded husband? Shut up and dance with me. Hey, wanna make a baby? Ooh-hoo! Shut up and dance with me. I go to Broadway shows a lot. I'm sure you've all been to a place where there's a stage and an audience watching at least once. And you know how sometimes you love a performance so much that you just want to give a standing ovation? Well, I don't know about you, but personally, I'm not the kind of person who likes to give a standing ovation that often. I have to stand up when I was perfectly comfortable sitting, and usually I don't feel like the performers deserve it. And yet, I find myself giving a standing ovation more often than I want to. Why? Because the people in front of me are giving a standing ovation, and I just want to see the actors. What's even worse is when only the people in the front row stand up, so the people behind them have to stand up too, and it becomes a domino effect throughout the whole audience. Though I'll admit there is one perk. At least it makes it easier to leave because everyone's already standing. My mom retired at 55. After about 2 years, she began getting involved with the YMCA and Zumba classes and went to Silver Sneakers, which is for the older population. The first time she ever went to the class, a friend of hers came up to her, surprised. "Are you sure you want to be here? This class is for seniors." My mom looked at her and smiled. "I am a senior. I'm not a senior. I'm a freshman senior." She put that on a shirt. She's funny though. One time we went to a Chinese restaurant and I had a fortune cookie that I read out loud. "An attractive person has a message for you." Without missing a beat, my mom told me she had a message for me. Let me tell you one thing about me. I am Jewish. My parents are Jewish. My whole family is Jewish. Every ounce of my blood is Jewish. And in the Jewish religion, it's unholy to mix meat with dairy. I'm Reformed, so I don't follow that. But in Israel, which is the most Jewish place on earth, you won't find a cheeseburger anywhere. Not even McDonald's sell cheeseburgers. Yeah. You'd think maybe in Israel they should rename their McDonald's establishments to McWeinburgers. I have a Mormon friend, so since I'm Jewish, I don't go to a church really, ever, but I went one time to support him because he was giving a speech. There, I learned a valuable lesson about what the Bibles are used for. Seat savers. Hey, his mom told me that one. Speaking of religions, my cousin has a story about when he saw Jehovah's Witnesses at a nearby house and knew they'd be coming to his house the next day. He didn't really want to go through the spiel of listening to them, nor did he really want to go through the awkwardness of asking them to get off of his door. So he had to get creative. The next day, he turned off all his lights, shut the curtains, and wore a cloak. When the Jehovah's Witnesses arrived, he answered and asked, "Are you the Jehovah's Witnesses?" They nodded, a bit confused. He turned to the inside of the house and said, "Mom, the sacrifices are here." They ran away scared. Last year, someone made a joke about coat hanger abortions. Who jokes about that? I mean, why would you abort a coat hanger you don't like? Honey, we have so many coat hangers and more on the way. Can't we talk about getting a coat hanger abortion? Shut up and dance with me. Thank you.
I now officially hate the song, Shut Up and Dance With Me, but you know, y'all can still listen to it. So, the next up to give us our 5-minute stint is our man, Zach Schwindt. Let's hear it for him real quick. Somebody got some fans out here.
I was going to be Luke Skywalker. For those of you who do not know who Luke Skywalker is, let me educate you. Luke Skywalker is the gangster from Star Wars who blew up the Death Star and told Darth Vader what is up. So this Halloween was going to be dope. I was going to roll up with my lightsaber, get free candy, couldn't get better, except for the fact that it got horribly worse. Halloween rolls around and I am deathly sick. I am throwing up everywhere. I'm crying. I don't know if it's the fact that I'm just sick or if it's the fact that I'm not going trick-or-treating, but it's miserable. But I think the worst is behind me. It can't get any worse. It does get worse. A few days later, I get better, and I walk in the kitchen. I'm like, hey, what's up, Mom? And she has my Halloween costume. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing? She says, hey, we're going to go trick-or-treating. I'm like, no, Mom, it's like November 3rd. No. She says, no, I spent this money on the costume. Let's go trick-or-treating. I'm like, Mom, that's literally the stupidest idea I've ever heard of. If you tell your mom something stupid, you know you're wrong. So I was out that door faster than you could blink, and I'm in my Jedi costume. It's so embarrassing going from house to house to house on November 3rd. It's so traumatizing. I remember the date. So I'm going up to every house, and it's the same spiel. I'm like, hey, trick or treat. And they're like, ooh, you know what? We gave all the candy to the kids who actually decided to show up on time, so sorry. Literally, I'm going house to house. It's embarrassing. I see people, and they're like, in their head, they're screaming, no, don't go to another house, no! It's the worst. So all the houses, I pretty much get snipped. I get no candy. The houses that do give me stuff, I receive stuff such as pens, paper clips, rubber bands, all the stuff you would keep in your junk drawer, they were just emptying out into my nice little Halloween sack. Literally the worst. So I roll up to this last house, and it's my nice little old lady, my neighbor, sweetest thing ever. Her name's Mrs. Rogers. I ring the doorbell, and she comes over. She's like, oh, Zach, I love you. I'm like, hey, trick or treat. She's like, oh, I got something for you. I'm like, you got something for me? Like, it's November 3rd, but oh, I'll take it. I think I'm about to get candy. She comes back. She's like, oh, here you go. She gives me Tupperware filled with meatloaf. I kid you not, Tupperware filled with meatloaf. She drops this meatloaf in my sack. It explodes over everything. So not only did I spend my afternoon collecting a bunch of useless crap from the whole neighborhood, all my useless crap is now covered in meatloaf. So I am trudging home, my lightsaber scraping across the ground. I got my meatloaf sack. Life couldn't get any worse, I swear. So I guess kind of my moral of the story is, if you ever decide to go trick-or-treating after Halloween, don't. It's super embarrassing. Like, I literally would pee myself on stage right now, then have to do that again. But if you do have to go through that, you'll probably end up with a sack full of meatloaf. Thank you.
One more time for Zach. One more time for Zach. There we go. There we go. Just one quick announcement real quick. We do have popcorn in the back. So if you're on a diet, too bad. Today's your cheat day. Eat that popcorn. It's free. Next up, the one and only Dr. Comedian. Please come to the stage. Hey, doctor, your mic.
Okay, one sec. Let me set up.
You all set up?
Let me set up first. Okay. Ready? Hey, everybody. You know, the contest coordinator told me I can make any joke I want. That includes dead baby jokes. I think that's kind of fucked up. But it's not like the dead babies will care. Yeah, I'm a psych major here at Rowan, and you won't believe the stigma that psychology majors have to deal with. Are you psychoanalyzing me? Are you judging my thoughts? No, that's $2.50 an hour. I love my therapist. I love her to death. But there's one piece of advice I will not agree with, no matter how many therapists tell me this. It's the only thing you have to fear is fear itself. That's absolute bullshit. I am fearing getting really mad and losing my top, because then I'll have to walk around topless. One day I walked into my session visibly upset. My therapist asked, "Danielle, is everything okay? Is everything okay?" And then she started the whole depression analysis, and she said, "Danielle, have you had any recent losses?" And I'm like, "Unfortunately, no." Yeah. I'm giving up on myself for Lent. Off to the buffet! Enough about me. I'm going to tell you about my dad. Here's a way to annoy my dad without fail. One way to annoy my dad without fail. It is to ask him this one question. When was the last time the Yankees won the Super Bowl? So does anybody here have a super literal dad? Right? Make some noise if you have a crazy super literal dad. Scream! Then yell! Then cry. That's me on a bad day. Okay. Anyway, my dad used to work as a cab driver in Philly. Yeah, the first person who he picked up, they wanted to go to Atlantic City. And on their way there, what happened was, he saw a sign. It said, "Turtle Crossing, May through August." And he looks back at the guy and says, "Dude, you better have the fare for this." Yeah, so he also worked for a hardware store, and his boss told him to go in the back and check the hose. He went back to his boss and said, "Okay, I checked the hose, but I didn't see any fucking tits." All right, yeah, okay, here's another joke about me. Okay, so I'm really glad to have a lot of hot friends, but this situation really upset me. Okay, so you know how who dorms around here? Do you live in the freshman dorms? You get a lot of fire alarms? Make some noise. Yeah, I hate those things, and I especially hate them even more because my friends and I went to a party. As soon as they walked in, the fire alarms went off. And then when I walked in, silence. I'm really offended. I mean, at least, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. I am Dr. Comedian, and I hope you guys enjoyed this set. You can probably find me on the internet, drcomedian.com, and on Facebook. It was great performing for you all. Bye.
Let's hear it one more time for Dr. Comedian. All right, so since our next act is taking a small bathroom break, that means I have to tell you a quick corny joke. Ready? What did one ocean say to the other ocean? That's all wrong. Hey, be quiet. It's all wrong. Nothing. He just waved. Huh? All right, being that was very corny, I'll send someone better up here, and his name happens to be Ethan Gross.
Thank you, wow. Such a warm welcome, thank you a lot for that, it means a lot to me. Not sure how I'm gonna follow up that wave joke, but I can try. I was celebrating some birthdays these past few months for my friends, one of whom happens to fall on Halloween. What a lucky man First, he goes around and gets free candy. Then he comes home and gets presents. Just to spite him, I'd get him a bag of candy corn and say, here you go, fits with the holiday. But birthdays are kind of weird, aren't they? I mean, really think about it, especially in our teenage years where we are now. Birthdays used to be, hey, David's having a birthday and everyone's invited. Oh, awesome. You get there, it's all Transformers themed. He's got an Optimus Prime shaped cake. Everyone's got the party hats and plates. Once you're done, you have a Nerf war in the backyard. Everyone's shooting each other. The parents are having a heart attack over losing somebody. But nowadays, it's like, you know, it is my birthday. I think that justifies cake, ice cream, and Doritos while I sit on my butt and play video games. Sounds reasonable. But isn't that what you do every day? Yes, but now I get to add 5,000 calories to that. I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it. Hey, it's my birthday. Don't tell me what to do. The birthday song is the worst part, isn't it? Have you ever been comfortable listening to that? The last time I was, never. I never was. They just come in, they start singing. You have to sit there awkwardly. You're not sure where to look or what to say. Because when you're a kid, you're too enamored by the fact that it's all about you. It's like, oh my God, this is all for me. You get to your teenage years, this is all about me. Please stop looking at me. I'm not that interesting. Whoa. That's the biggest surprise is my next point. The worst part is when you think you've almost gotten away. You're hanging out with your buddies, you're playing cards or video games or whatever you guys like to do. Apply your own, fill in the blank. And you think, oh, this is going great. And somebody told you the cake was here, and it's like, all right, guys, I'm going to go cut the cake up. And there she comes. Mom, around the corner, there's a candle, and they all start looking at you. No, 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 please, no. And then it starts. Then it starts. You feel like you've just been told to speak in front of the class, and you were sleeping the whole time. It just comes right out of nowhere, right around the corner, and just, you feel like a spy sitting there, just, especially in restaurants, and I'll tell you why in a second. Because in restaurants, you don't expect it to happen. But then there's that one friend who, while you were in the bathroom, they told them. They told them. And then you're just having fun, and then they come around the corner. You see one of them, oh, that's nice. You see two of them. Wonder why they're all gathering. Third one comes with a cake. Oh my God. And that's when you feel like the spy. You just sit there, you sold me out! Which one of you sold me out? Dang it, guys, I said I didn't want it. This ice cream does look pretty good, though. And it is free. The party hats are another weird thing. Why are they called party hats? They're not all that special. They're just a cone that we put on our head, and that's it. That's all that happens. You tell me party hat. What I want to see a propeller beanie with sprinklers strapped to it. Woo! Or at the very least, put a Roman candle in one of the pointy hats. Just the second they say it. Yo, it's his birthday, sweet. Yeah! Now it's a party. All right. The gifts are another weird thing. Why do we get gifts on our birthday? I feel like whenever you get something, I mean, I'm not complaining about gifts. I love them. But they're weird, aren't they? It's just kind of like, hey, congratulations, you didn't die again this year. Here's a TV. Hey, tell you what, do it again next year, we'll get you a car. All right, that's all for me, everyone. Thank you very much. You've been wonderful.
All right, Ethan. That was great. Appreciate that. All right. So, our next guy. So, real quick, we all know the the best. Anyway, I apologize for that. So, we all know the best last name of all time is McLovin. So if you wanted to have a second best last name, it would be this guy, Christopher McManus. One time for Christopher.
Testing, 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 1, 2. Hey guys. I've never done stand-up before, but I can occasionally make my friends laugh, so I figure, how hard could it be for me to stand up in front of a bunch of strangers for 5 minutes and make them laugh consistently for a 5-minute set. So here I am. About a couple weeks ago, I had to go get a haircut. I was starting to get the whole homeless look going, and it wasn't really looking good, so I decided to go to a local barbershop. Little did I know that this barbershop was a black barbershop. So I made my way down to Martin's Haircuts with Style, and as I walked in, the first thing I saw behind the counter, behind the cash register, mounted on the wall, was every imaginable variation of a do-rag. Now, I have nothing against the do-rag look, but I don't see myself as someone who can pull that look off. And the last time I saw a white person pull that look off, he was riding by on a motorcycle. So you can kind of understand my apprehension when I entered. So I sat down anyway. I figured he's probably cut white guy's hair before. I stayed there. Now, as I'm sitting there, I recognize that out of the 5 people that are here, I'm the only white person in the room. Now, I have absolutely no problem with black people, except the fact that there's one distinct difference between black people and white people besides skin color, and that's hair. And I was there for a haircut. But I figured, let's not be racist. He probably knows how to cut my hair. I stayed there anyway. As I'm sitting there, I start to recognize how the barbershop is decorated. Imagine you're sitting in front of your computer. You've opened up your web browser to Google Images, and you just recently typed in the phrase, inspirational Martin Luther King Jr. quotes. Press enter, and take the first 30 images that pop up, blow them up to the size of an average poster, and put them all over this barbershop. That's exactly how this place was decorated. But it still is not registered to me. I'm sitting in a black barbershop. I'm sitting there going, that's probably why this place is called Martin's Haircuts with Style. It all makes sense now. So I stayed seated. It's like 10 minutes in, I'm getting a little bored, but then to the right of me, I noticed that the television's on, so I decide, let's watch some TV for a little bit. I'm watching TV, and I notice in the bottom right-hand corner of this screen are the 3 letters B-E-T. And the actor on the screen is known as Eddie Murphy. So there I am, the only white person there in Martin's Haircuts with Style, sitting in front of do-rags, surrounded by inspirational posters of Martin Luther King Jr., watching Dr. Dolittle on the Black Entertainment Television channel, and I have still yet to realize I'm sitting in a black barbershop. It wasn't until the barber called up the next guy to get his haircut that I realized I was in the wrong place. You see, ever since I had been going to a hairdresser, whenever asked the question, what do you want for a haircut, I've responded with a description. As of recently, I just go up, I ask, give me short on the sides, a little longer up top, trim up the sideburns, cut out the ears, give me a square cut in the back, all scissor cut, I don't want it too short. But when this guy went up to the chair and he was asked the question, what do you want for a haircut, he responded with the phrase, south of France. And it was at that moment that in all my years of requesting a specific haircut, I have never responded with a geographical location. So I'm thinking, what the hell am I supposed to call my haircut? My last name is McManus. Do I call it a Northern Ireland? I'm really not sure what I'm supposed to call it. And then I thought back to the inspirational Dr. King and that one line when he said, I have a dream that one day little black boys and girls will hold hands with little black white boys, little white boys and girls, and they'll all have a good time together. And I thought, Dr. King probably wasn't dreaming about this moment. So I stood up, I left, I went back to my dorm. I was traumatized for the next 2 days, and when I finally did get a haircut, I went to the salon on Rowan Boulevard and paid way too much for a haircut that, it was way overpriced, but that's Rowan University, everything's too expensive here. So, thank you, you guys are great.
One more time for Mr. McManus. All right, so I got a few things to say real quick. The Office of Student Activities, aka SUP, is having a little contest right now on Instagram. So if you're like me and nobody's texting you like they always aren't, I would log on to Instagram and type in Rowan OSA, all one word. If you can't spell, it's ROWANOSA. And there's going to be a question posted in a picture. And if you happen to know the answer to that question, I will look around, look up, down, around, next to you, behind you, for the person in the hat that says SCP on the top. And then what you're going to do is you're going to find that person. And if you know the answer, you're going to say it to them. And if you're right, you get a cool prize. So we'll be doing that for a little bit tonight. But enough about the cool prizes we have tonight. More about the cool comedians. Next up, Rich Patterson, please come to the stage.
All right, got the mic. Walk to the stairs. I hate stairs. I'm old, so I hate stairs, of course. Howdy, y'all, how you doing? So, do we have anybody here from New York? Any New Yorkers in here? Anybody? We got one? Anybody? Nah? Well, I'm actually from Carthage, New York. You ever hear of that? Anybody? Nah? It's like 200 miles away from Canada, and yes, it's pretty cold up there. 7 feet of snow is not for the weak. Going outside, you got tunnels in the snow. Your dog's out there trying to dig a tunnel. You're trying to figure out, if it's why it's snowing in October. But enough of that, though. So, like I said, I'm from Carthage, and the population was like 3,700, and every single one of them talks like Sarah Palin. Yeah, and it doesn't help that most of them are, they're all Canadians, so, they have like that accent with them, A lot of people think that Canadians say A lot is totally wrong. We say O a lot more often. Like, my uncle, I go over to his house, is just like, so, how's school going, O? I'm like, not bad, O, I guess. He's like, do you want some ginger ale, O? Like, sure. Oh, how long is this going to go on here for? I don't know here. But I actually looked it up. The population was actually 3,701, which means that I have a feeling this one person just kind of like drove into Carthage one day and said, I'm just going to screw the entire world right now. I'm going to live in this little bubble right here, ignore the rest of the world, and just drink ginger ale for the rest of my life. Believe it or not, that's like what they live off of up there. Ginger ale and orange soda and molasses. Believe me, there's not a lot of people that like molasses around this place. Believe me. But yeah, it's a pretty small town. But it was actually named after Carthage, the city that Rome beat, like way back when. Has anybody heard of a Carthage in Africa? The city? We got a few. Yeah. Only problem is though is they lost to Rome. Who names their town after a place that lost? I mean, if I want to name it after the loser, I'd probably name it like the Mets or something like that. Yeah. I was pretty disappointed this week, so I'm just taking it out on the microphone. You don't have to pay attention to me. But yeah. But sorry. Our town was actually separated between are Carthage and West Carthage. And that is totally bogus because the two sections of the town hate each other to death, which, again, is stupid because they all went to the same Catholic school, they all got paddled by the same nuns, and they all just were raised off in ginger ale and, you know, Republicans and the Yankees. You know, my grandpa, he loved the Yankees. It's weird. Me, I just kind of grew up as like, how many innings are there in baseball? If I said it to my grandpa now, he'd probably behead me or something. But our town pretty much revolved around the Black River, which is like this river that kind of like separated Carthage and West Carthage. And it's probably my cousin's favorite place of scaring the life out of me because she told me one day that there was a man on the other side of the river who never showered a day in his life. Yeah, that's a great thing to say to a 5-year-old, but at the same time, this is the same cousin who tricked me into eating a dog bone before. Yeah. Yeah, if you ever had a dog biscuit in your life, believe me, you understand my pain right here. It was not exactly running out of mode. But one year, if you think that was actually kind of funny, this one's actually real. One year in 2005, somebody out of like a farm town, he had a silo full of cow manure and it spilled into the Black River. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting when you think about it because most of our water supply came from the Black River, so we couldn't use our water for an entire week or two. But that's all right, we had enough ginger ale to go around. You know, and our orange soda. Oh. I don't know. Oh. But, yeah, it's a pretty old town, you know. But what am I supposed to say, you know? Is like, made in like the 1800s. Bernie Sanders was probably just learning how to ride a bike around that time, you know. All right, well, thank you all for your time. I'm Rich Patterson. Oh.
Let's hear it for Rich one more time real quick. So real quick before this next act, I forgot to mention the prizes for our winners tonight. So first place is walking away with $300. Not bad. Second place, walking away with $200. Not bad at all. And third place, $100. So I'll take all those. So, you know, if you think a tad bit funny, I'll be back here next year so you can win some money. But next up, we have Kyle. Let's go, Kyle.
Woo! All right. Have you ever had that moment where you've said something and immediately regretted it? My friend had that recently because he was really excited. He got his personal trainer certificate, and he's like, yeah, it's so easy. All you got to do is go online. Anyone can be a personal trainer, even you. And he's pointing directly at me, and I'm like, oh, let's slow down and think about that one for a second. I mean, let's talk about Kyle, personal trainer. I mean, the rec center, the gym's at the top of a flight of stairs. Can you imagine that? We're gonna work you out tonight. But speaking of having, be athletic, I was out on a blind date recently, and the girl I was out with, she was very unhappy the whole time. And I asked her, like, why? Why are you so unhappy? And she says, you know, it's because you lied on your dating profile, and you said you had an athletic build. And I'm like, no. You must not have heard. Pro video gaming is a sport now, and this is as athletic as it gets. I mean, you see this ass right here? This took training to be able to sit on this for hours and not get sore. But no. So we're all college students here, and you know, college life is great. You know, there's some bad things, like I can't stand those mattresses they have in the dorms for us. I was changing my sheet recently, and I noticed those mattresses have a brand. Those mattresses are called Student Choice. What asshole made that choice for the rest of us? I mean, they had when they were testing that, they had to have given him some ecstasy or something. Oh, it's so comfortable. Oh, it's like a cloud. This one, guys. But you know, being in college, I've had to grow up a lot. You know, recently I had a bit of a half-adult moment. And the reason it's a half-adult moment is it's an adult moment because I got pre-approved for a credit card. But that got cut in half the moment it was for a GameStop credit card. I mean, I guess the creditors just know where I like to shop. We just had Halloween this past weekend. It was a lot of fun. Halloween is my favorite holiday because you know what? It works when you're a kid and it works when you're an adult. Because when you're a kid, it's all about the candy. And when you're an adult, it's all about the eye candy. I mean, you women and your sexy costumes, oh my God. I mean, this year I saw a sexy cop, I saw a sexy nurse, hell, I even saw a sexy tree got wood in more ways than one. Woo! Thank you. I'm so glad to be back in New Jersey, though. I was recently out in Colorado, and I don't know if you know this about Colorado, but their business names are a little different out there because I saw a sign for a future business site, and I could not believe the name of this business. This business was called Come and Go. And the issue with that was not Come and Go, C-O-M-E, no. This was Come and Go, K-U-M. That little weird-ass symbol for and, G-O. And I'm looking at this sign, and all it says is Come and Go. And I'm like, what? What could this business possibly be? And I'm left to figure that out. And I don't know if it's because I have a dirty mind, but here's my best guess as to what the Come and Go business is. It is most likely the fast food version of a whorehouse. You walk in, they got the specials listed up on the board. Welcome to Come and Go. Can I take your order? Yes, I'd like a number 1, and that's an Asian chick, by the way. Hold the STDs, extra double Ds. Would you like to supersize that, sir? Oh, yes. Yes, I would. Well, come to find out, the Come and Go business is a gas station. I mean, it still has to do with a liquid coming out of somewhere. I was close. But what I'd really like to see from the Come and Go business is a line of clothing, specifically women's underwear with the logo right here. Y'all been great. Have a good night.
Now, how about Kyle? This one noise for Kyle? Do we like Kyle? I like Kyle, too. All right, we're getting down to the wire now, I believe. 2 more acts. So let's show some love for Mr. Jeremy. Come on up to the stage, please. Here you are, sir. Mic's on. All yours, man.
Hey, everybody. Thank God I could come up to the stage, huh? You know, I'd say I've done stand-up before, but that wouldn't necessarily be accurate. So I call myself a sit-down comedian, and I do that because obviously I'm sitting down. So, you know, one of the things I've always noticed as a wheelchair comic is that you can observe things and make jokes that not many people can. Like, people said they hate stairs. There's a fucking ramp right here, and thank God student activities address that. Wouldn't have been able to get into the competition. I would have had a lawsuit on my hands. Not that it's really followed anyway. I mean, many of the establishments that are trying to follow that don't really give a shit. When I call a restaurant and say, "Are you accessible?" a common answer is, "Yes, we only have 3 stairs." Let's see if my chair can jump those stairs. I think it was last Halloween in that a girl actually asked me at Landmark, I have a question, are you really handicapped? And I'm like, yeah, why? She's like, I don't know, it's Halloween. I'm like, and I thought to myself, what kind of asshole possibly borrows a wheelchair to dress like? What's the character? Or I mean, if you're Stephen Hawking, you could get the speech to text thing, and you gotta go on. But I'm just a kid in a wheelchair, and that's apparently enough for a drunk girl to think it's a costume. Yeah, she was. So I rolled through a drive-thru once. I didn't order anything, but I wondered if I could. And again, if I didn't let me, I wondered if they had lost my hands. I'm like, hey, this is a vehicle. Or am I a pedestrian? I don't know. It comes in handy to identify myself as a pedestrian if I'm rolling home from Landmark by myself. I wonder if I could get a DUI in this thing. You never know. So I have a horn, and that comes in handy because I can tell people to disperse anytime I want. And I can act as my own sensor, like, you! But the best trick to play is it sounds exactly like an EKG. So if I want to spasm and be like, I can do that anytime I want. It's a little bit different when you're in a wheelchair and you're trying to date. How people have height requirements in their relationships. Yeah, fuck those people. You say you want on a guy who's 6'2", and it's just a personal preference, but single me out because I'm sitting on a chair that's lower to the ground, and you're gonna look a lot more like an asshole. Yeah, if I wanted to get somebody and I have to pull them down to my eye level and make sure anything's happened, that's why spontaneous moments are a little harder to come by. But it might be a little bit of a surprise for a girl when she finds out that I can, in fact, get an erection. People are cheering me on for that. Okay, yeah. And if I have to mess with my seatbelt, the ideal thing it goes with is like the penis acts as an angle bisector. I'm sitting in an L, it pokes out. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize you could do that. That's what you would say. You never know. Oh, the thing is that I also have assistants who help me out, do my laundry, dressed and stuff. If they would say things like, and they're also my friends, so, they're cool. Oh, they help me out with stuff. But if I'm ever with a girl and I get a little too excited, I'm like, I can't do my own laundry, so, I'm like, hey, my sheets got a little dirty. Can you guys help me out? Yeah, it's come this time. Thanks, everybody. I'm Jeremy Einbetter. That's my time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jeremy Einbinder, one more time. And with the conclusion of that act, we are down to a final act of the night. Last, but definitely not least, can we please make some noise for Mr. Patrick O'Hare Barrows?
My name is Patrick O'Hare Barrows, and I will most likely be awkward throughout my entire routine, so here we go. A little bit about me. O'Hare. I am 50% Irish. I hail from a long line of overgrown leprechauns. Next up, English. I am 25% English, a land of bad teeth, tea, and no goddamn sunlight. And lastly, Canadian. 25% Canadian. I am naturally camouflaged to fight polar bears. if I were to strip naked and lie down in the snow, none of you could find me. The only thing that would give me away is this ginger pubic hair beard I have in my face. pubic hair. Since I was very young, my parents drilled it into me that sunscreen was the most important thing in my life. Every time they could, sunscreen, 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 every time I went outside. And for the most part, I lived by that mantra. But you know that phase we all go through when we think we know everything, but really we're all just full of shit? Well, around that time, my aunt and uncle decided that, hey, let's go to America's sweaty crotch, Florida. So they take me and my sister, and we go down to Disney, and we go to one of the water parks. And they stupidly think that I am a responsible person who can take care of myself. So they give me the sunscreen, and they go off to take care of my sister. And I'm like, I don't need this. And I go off into the park. After my pale Irish ass spends about 5 hours in the Florida sun completely unprotected, I was sued by the Washington Redskins for copyright infringement. This is the best part. Pictures of my shoulders. I get these really huge blisters. They're currently in a PowerPoint used to teach nurses at Villanova University how to identify third-degree sunburn. I don't know if you guys could notice, but my hair is starting to thin and fall out. That kind of sucks. The worst part about it is, between this beard and the hair, people think I'm a lot older than I actually am. For example, this one time I went to New York, and we went to this, me and my dad went to this bar. And they straight up came up and handed me the beer menu and asked me, what do you want to drink? So I ordered a Sam Adams. Just kidding, just kidding. But, yeah. So, but the thing is, I used to make bald jokes to my dad for, like, my entire life, because he had male pattern baldness, and he was like pretty much completely bald for as long as I've known him. So every time I thought of a bald joke, I would make it. He's now taken this chance to get his revenge, and he will randomly just text me, haha, you're bald. So I text back, yeah, but I look better doing it. All right, well, so I once almost got arrested by the TSA. So I'm coming back from a trip, and I have these avocados with me, because, you know, apparently avocados are the funniest fruit imaginable. Thank you very much. So I take the avocados, and I gotta get them, home. Because apparently, if you have a knife under 6 inches, you're allowed to put that through airport security. Yet fruit, no, that's like high up there. Okay, what's the list of things we can't let on airplanes? Guns, bombs, avocados. So I gotta get them home, and I think I can sneak them through airport security, because the worst thing that's gonna happen is they're gonna open up my bag and find the avocados and throw them out. Oh no. So I line them up in this briefcase. One, like, all in a line together, and it's this combination lock briefcase. It's my dad's. So goes through the X-ray, and the woman behind the woman looking at the X-ray just sees 6 round shapes, grenade-shaped too, with a bunch of other tiny metal objects above it, and then looks at me. I give her my kindest smile, and her, probably thinking that I'm a member of the IRA, decides to hit the panic button. Turns out you don't need those avocados when you spend 6 hours in TSA detention. So yeah, that's all my time. Thank you very much.
Let's hear it one more time for our last contestant. And then one big round of applause for all our contestants that competed tonight. One more time. All right, so while our wonderful alumni judges deliberate, I got a little game for you, and it involves cookies. So who likes cookies? And who's not on a diet? Oh, that's good news. All right, so simple game. when explained, listen up. What you're going to do is going to take one of these scrum-diddly-umptious cookies, and you're going to put it on your forehead, okay? So you can't eat it that easy. And then the person out of all 5 contestants who can get the cookie like in their mouth and eat it without dropping it on the floor is going to be our winner. And wait, I didn't even tell you the prize yet. The prize is going to be a nice $15 worth of gift cards to Barnes & Noble. So with that, you could probably get yourself a hat and maybe a shirt that's on sale, but not a textbook. But it's better than nothing. So who's down for who's in? All right, first hand right there. I saw one hand right there. Come on up. Yes, you come on up. Who do I see? I see somebody in the corner on the couch. One of you get up, one of you. That's 2. I can't, this light is on my face. All right, my man in the sweatshirt right there. Who else do we have? Who else can I see? I can't see. Whose birthday is it? Are you lying? Is that a lie? Wait, where's the guy with the birthday at? I'm sorry. Blonde kid, come on. I hope you're not lying, man. Come on up. We got 3? I need 2 more. Make sure you mention that they can't use their hands. I know. Okay. All right, blue shirt over there. All right, last one. Who is it? They're pointing to a lot of folks. Wait. All right, I gotta go with eeny, meeny, miny. My man over there. Come on, you're pointing to him. Let's go. Wow, I should have picked more females. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be biased. All right. Once again, you cannot use your hands. All right. So you each get a cookie. Do not eat it yet. You only get 1. Don't mess it up, man. 1 cookie. Stop me. 1 cookie. You got to show these fellas how to do it. All right. 1 cookie. You get 1 too. You get 1 too. Word. All right. Yo, can we get some music? You got any music? A little lower. All right. Ready? Cookies on forehead. Take your hat off, bro. Come on. Cookie on forehead. There's no time limit. Just do not drop your cookie. If you drop it on the floor, you can still eat it, but that's very nasty. So, on your mark. Get set. Let's get it popping. Oh, no. Whoa, no, that's cheating. That is cheating. Oh, hands. Take your time. Oh, you can still eat that. Oh, whoa. Look at this guy right here. Oh, we have a winner. Sir, what is your name?
Oscar.
One more time. Yeah, cookie in your mouth.
Oscar.
Oscar? Let's hear it for Oscar. And for all of the contestants, one more time for everybody. So you get your $15 of Barnes & Noble gift card. You don't get this. No, you can't have this. No. And you can see my man up there in the yellow and the orange shirt. Yeah. Once again, thank you very much, everybody. So, once again for the prizes. A little lower, Joe. A little lower. Prizes once again. I'm not going to do it, sorry. But first place, $300. Second place, $200. Third place, $100. So at least anybody who wins anything is walking away at least $100 richer. Do we have our results? Miss Carly Samuels. Hey, once again, let's hear it for Carly for putting on this event tonight. One time for Carly for putting it on tonight.
All right, so before we can announce all the winners, I do want to give you guys a heads up about some really cool events we got going on. So movie night on Wednesday. Who's excited for Fantastic Four? Yeah! 9:15 p.m. right upstairs in the ballroom, free with your student ID, and you get some more popcorn. And then Thursday night at Raw, we're having a coffee house, so come check that out. Friday night is Marvelous Night, so if you guys like superheroes, not just like Marvel, but any kind, you can come visit that. And then Saturday is Rockapella. Who's heard of Prophecy? Yeah? Okay, so they're going to be here, and it's going to be a really great night. And then on November 16th, we're having our annual Holiday Helper Auction. So we're giving out a lot of cool prizes like priority housing, free rides around on a golf cart. Anybody like Game of Thrones? Yeah, so we have a signed script by like almost all of the cast. So if you guys are interested in that, November 16th, come check it out. And last but not least, we have a trip to Longwood Gardens on Saturday, and tickets are $10, so make sure you check that out. All right, you guys excited to see who won? Yeah? Okay. Here you go.
All right. Gonna go from the bottom up. So, who's ready for our third place winner? Third place. Third place. Can you please give a huge round of applause for my man, Zach Schwindt? You are leaving tonight $100 richer. Quick picture real quick, quick picture. Awesome. All right. Stay up here, please. Stay up here. Stay up here. Yeah. Second place. Second place. We're getting close. Second place. We have Mr. Patrick O'Hare Barrows. Can you please come to the stage? Can you please come to the stage? Can we get a quick pic real quick? Get the beard. Get the beard. Mine's growing. Mine's coming in. All right. Last, but most definitely not least, who's ready for the first place winner? Walking away with $300. $300, which he will share with me and only me. All right. Can I get a drum roll? Drum roll. Drum roll. Your first place winner is Kyle. Can you please join us on the stage? Kyle, can you please join us on the stage? We made it. We made it. Nice man. Let's hear it for your first, second, third place winners real quick. And can we also give one more round of applause for all of our contestants? And then one last time for all of our wonderful judges. All right, well, thank you for coming up. Thank you for coming out tonight. That wraps up our annual Laugh Off competition. I'm sure there's some more popcorn. Make sure you come to movie night tomorrow to see the Fantastic Four at 9:15 p.m. in the ballroom. Thanks again and be safe, everyone.
This has been a presentation of the Rowan Television Network.